What if the most explosive battle in the universe isn't won by strength, but by a single unbreakable promise? Legends older than time itself whisper of a covenant so absolute that even omnipotence bows to its terms. A creator, limitless in power, who stands bound not by weakness, but by a law older than wrath. For millennia, scholars have asked, if God can do anything, why does evil still roam free? Why does Satan, the ultimate rebel, still walk among us? Tonight, we crack open forbidden scrolls and apocryphal secrets to uncover the covenant that even rebellion cannot shatter, because destroying the fallen would unravel the very fabric of free will and collapse the cosmic order. This is not weakness. This is deliberate restraint. And the truth is far stranger than fiction. Long before the rise of empires, humanity's oldest stories spoke of a war beyond the stars. Civilizations separated by oceans and millennia, Sumerians, Egyptians, the Indus Valley, all carved tales of gods locked in eternal struggle. But among these, one thread endures. A divine law even the gods could not break. In Mesopotamia, the Epic of Gilgamesh warned of divine retribution against rebellion. Yet even the wrathful god Enlil spared the demon Humbaba, bound by cosmic order. In Egypt, the Book of the Dead recounts how Set, the god of chaos, was never destroyed, only contained. Why? Because annihilation would disrupt Mayat, the balance of truth itself. But the clearest clues lie in texts nearly lost to history. Among the Dead Sea Scrolls, fragments of the war of the sons of light against the sons of darkness describe a predestined battle where evil's destruction is delayed, not by inability, but by decree. Similarly, the Book of Enoch, preserved for centuries by the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, claims fallen angels bargained with heaven, their judgment postponed until a great appointed day. These texts suggest a chilling truth. The rules of this cosmic game were set long ago. Ancient scribes wrote of a Berit Olam, an everlasting covenant that governs all beings, celestial or mortal. To violate it would render divine justice arbitrary, collapsing the moral architecture of the universe. Thus, even rebellion must play its role. By the 4th century, debates raged in shadowed councils and candlelit scriptoria. Could God revoke the gift of eternal life, even from the damned? Some theologians argue that immortality was irrevocable, a divine bug in creation. Others whispered that Satan's existence was necessary, a living testament to free will's terrible price. Yet this paradox stretches further back than Augustine or Enoch. In the Zoroastrian Avestas, the evil Angra Mainyu is destined to fall not by force, but by his own corruption. In Hindu cosmology, the demon Rahu is decapitated yet endures, his head eternally chasing the sun. A pattern emerges. Darkness persists not because light is weak, but because balance demands it. What these traditions share is a recognition of sacred limits. To erase evil would erase choice. To destroy the tempter would render humanity's virtue meaningless. And so, the rebel lives, not by mercy, but by the unyielding logic of a universe built on freedom, a logic even its creator will not break. But if this covenant is unbreakable, what does it mean for us? And what awaits when the final move is made in this celestial chess game? To understand why darkness endures, we must first confront a paradox. Omnipotence bound by choice. If a being possesses infinite power, what stops it from acting? The answer lies not in weakness, but in the architecture of existence itself. Ancient theologians argued that even divinity operates within self-woven laws. To act against these would unravel reality. Imagine a judge who shreds the law to punish a criminal. Their verdict loses meaning. So too, scholars suggest, the Creator upholds a framework where justice and freedom are inseparable. To destroy the rebel would shatter the scales forever. Consider Eden's tale. Here, choice was the first sacred gift, and its corruption the first rebellion. Yet the tempter was not erased. Why? Manuscripts hint that free will's price is eternal. Remove the serpent, and humanity's virtue becomes a scripted play, not a chosen path. The rebel's role, then, is not to corrupt, but to test. The Berit Olam, mentioned in fragmented scrolls and oral traditions, binds all beings to cosmic rules. Some interpret this as a divine code governing consequence. Fallen angels, though exiled, retain their place in the order. To unmake them would fracture the code, rendering existence arbitrary. Thus, evil persists, but within bounds. Time itself may hold the key. Apocryphal texts like the Apocalypse of Abraham speak of a cosmic hourglass. Evil allowed to flow only until its grains are spent. This is not mercy, but a surgical precision. For in the grand design, darkness serves as the whetstone against which light sharpens. Remove it, and the universe goes blunt. Yet here lies the rub. If evil is a tool, who wields it? Ancient mystics propose that even rebellion is absorbed into the divine plan. Like a master chess player, the Creator allows a pawn's defiance to set the stage for checkmate. The fallen one's rage, his pride, all fuel a fire meant to refine, not consume. But what if the game's true stakes are not victory, but revelation? To eradicate evil would conceal the cost of choice, the value of sacrifice. The rebel lives so that light can prove itself brighter. And in this terrible, beautiful tension, the universe finds its meaning. But if the rebel's survival is woven into creation's design, what does that say about evil itself? Is it a flaw or a feature? Ancient rabbinic debates preserved in texts like the Midrash Rabbah propose a startling idea. Evil exists not as opposition to the divine, but as its counterpart. Like fire and frost, each defines the other. To extinguish one collapses the spectrum of existence. Thus, Satan is not God's rival. He is the shadow cast by the very light that sustains him. This duality echoes beyond theology. In the Emerald Tablet, Hermes Trismegistus writes, "As above, so below." Modern theorists of cosmic balance argue similarly. Dark matter stabilizes galaxies, pathogens strengthen immune systems. Remove opposition, and systems stagnate. Could the fallen angel be a necessary chaos? Yet here we confront the great theological tightrope. If evil serves a purpose, does that justify its horrors? The 13th century Zohar warns against this trap. Do not mistake the scaffold for the palace. Suffering is never divine intent. It is the scar tissue of rebellion. But even scars have a role: to remind. This is the razor's edge. Texts like the Apocryphal of John, a Gnostic gospel found at Nag Hammadi, claim the fallen ones were allowed to stew in their own wine until their corruption consumed them. Not annihilation, self-destruction. A divine strategy where evil's own nature becomes its undoing. Modern thinkers speculate this principle permeates reality. Viruses mutate into extinction. Stars collapse into black holes that birth new galaxies. So too, theologians suggest evil carries the seeds of its own demise. The rebel's rebellion is not eternal, just patient. But what of humanity's role in this cosmic stalemate? Ancient Aramaic incantation bowls, artifacts used to trap demons, reveal a chilling truth. Humans too enforce the covenant. Every choice to reject darkness tightens the rebel's chains. Our free will fuels the same machinery that limits his. This is the unspoken pact. The Creator's restraint is mirrored in ours. To demand Satan's destruction is to reject the burden of choice, to seek a world where light requires no courage, where good needs no witnesses, and that is a hollow victory. The rebel endures not because heaven is indifferent, but because the story is unfinished. And in this grand, terrifying narrative, every soul holds a pen. If the cosmic dance of light and shadow hinges on choice, what steps can we take in our own lives? The answer lies not in grand gestures, but in the quiet alignment of will and purpose. Ancient practices teach that every moral crossroads is a microcosm of the divine struggle. To choose integrity in the face of temptation, compassion over indifference, these acts tighten the threads of the Berit Olam. You are not just a player in this game, you are the loom. Consider the three mirrors principle from esoteric traditions. Reflect on your choices at dawn, dusk, and midnight, not as guilt, but as alignment. Ask, does this act nourish the garden or feed the storm? When confronted with suffering, yours or others, remember the alchemy of the hourglass. Pain is transient, but its lessons are eternal. Some traditions advise meditating on the phrase, "This too shall pass, but what remains?" to transmute despair into resolve. Communities too wield cosmic influence. Collective vows to protect the vulnerable, seek truth, honor reciprocity, act as sigils binding chaos. History shows that when societies forget this, the scales tip toward dissolution. Arm yourself with wisdom. Study the shadow histories, the unspoken struggles of those who resisted tyranny, the quiet heroes who turned tides with whispers, not swords. Their legacies are maps through the labyrinth. And when the weight of the world feels too heavy, remember, the same covenant that spares the rebel also empowers you. Your light, however small, alters the equilibrium. For in this celestial duel, every flicker of courage is a star reclaimed. In the end, the question is not why darkness exists, but what we choose to illuminate. The ancient covenant that spares the rebel also entrusts us with a sacred paradox. Our fragility holds the power to tilt universes. Every act of courage, every stand against corruption, writes a line in this eternal story. The scrolls of Nag Hammadi, the hymns of Zoroaster, the prayers of forgotten monasteries, all whisper one truth. The battle between light and shadow is not fought with divine fire, but with the choices we etch into stone, flesh, and soul. So ask yourself, if even the fallen are part of the design, what role might you play in its unfolding? Does your life sharpen the light or dull the edge of darkness? The chessboard awaits your move. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and ring the bell for future uploads. Share it with friends or on social media. Like to let me know what you enjoy. Comment your thoughts or suggestions. I read every one. Your support keeps this channel growing. See you next time.